Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. I have had a very simple day, and it's almost 1 o'clock. I've been staying in bed until 7 o'clock, approximately 7 o'clock-ish. I used to get up at 6 a.m., but if you can get into a halfway doze state, while it's not as effective as actual sleep, it's actually better than being awake. So by staying in bed an extra hour and getting at least partial rest, it's helping me out. But that puts me an hour behind. And when I got finally ready for the day, around 10 o'clock-ish, I went outside, and it's gray and foggy and chilly, and I decided, you know what? I can go walkies later. I don't have to go right now. It's not a requirement that I go in the morning. I used to go at night every single day. So the fact that I'm doing it in the morning instead, so I didn't go in the morning time, and I've been staying in, and I've been just not walking on my heel, basically. I mean, you don't walk, well, you do walk on your heel. I believe it's the calcaneus bone, and it's a pretty solid bone, and it's, if you take a step, you're going to be walking on your heel bone, even if it's not what, you know, the lay person thinks of as the heel, the back of the foot. You know, so, yay, but its bone spurs are hurting, so thumbs up on that. But here's hoping something's going to happen. I've got to call up a place that I made an appointment for on the 3rd. Only I didn't get a chance to talk to the people here about getting a ride there. And I didn't plan for all of the days off that federal people have. And they have partial federal funding. Every time there's a bank/federal holiday, they're not here. And so there was nobody to talk to here and say, oh my gosh, because it was about a week before my appointment that they called up to make the appointment. So I didn't have a bunch of time, and because I have ADHD with executive dysfunction, I didn't get it done immediately. The back half of the time to call wasn't there, because Thursday, nobody. Friday, nobody. Saturday, nobody. Sunday, nobody. So I got Monday to try and get a ride to an appointment on Tuesday. So I gotta try and call every number that's called me in my numbers called you list, or phone activity list, and then call them up and say, did I make an appointment with you for Tuesday? Because if so, we need to reschedule. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna be annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do. But life is life. So it's gonna be busy, but you do what you gotta do. And talking about being tired though, even though I stayed in bed late, it was about 1 o'clock when I got to bed, because of course I forgot to take my, it's not minestrone, melatonin. My head was trying to say minestrone, which is why I said that and laughed, because that's why I couldn't talk. But it's melatonin, not minestrone. Even though I took my 4 6-milligram gummies for 24 milligrams of melatonin, I fell asleep, you know, after I got to bed at 1 o'clock. But it was the getting into bed and getting comfortably positioned that was rough, because I was turning over and my right leg, that hamstring that runs all the way up from inside your abdomen where your hip joint is down to your toe. That went into a halfway cramp going, oh, you shouldn't be using this if you want this to keep going. And I went, oh, let go, and it let go. So that was fun. I had to deal with some of that. And then a little bit of icky-bicky cramp and stuff. Not much, but a little bit in my left foot getting up and out of bed. That's annoying, but I can live with it. And once I get standing, I can get cramps in my legs if I do something really dumb, like try and I can look at the bottom of my foot, not by lifting up my foot behind me and then trying to look back at it, because if I bend my knee and then my hip too much, that's going to cramp. I have to brace my leg on my knee and then look at the underside of my foot that way. Otherwise, there will be cramping. But generally, if I'm standing, I'm okay. It's when I lie down that things instantly become dangerous. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about, and pretty much the only thing, but that's okay, I watch a channel called like Mortismal Gaming with a guy whose username Mortem. And what he does is he says to set him apart from everybody else who reviews games, because he reviews games, is he 100%s them. Everything that there is that can be done, he will do. And he will not review it until he gets 100%. And so he was talking about, there is, I believe that on Planescape 2, there is a challenge called the Ultimate. Apparently, when they first released into early access, some people complained that it was too easy. And they took that to heart, going, oh, you think that's too easy? Well, okay, how about if we add this? What about if we do this? Do you think that's easy? How about if we do this? And they just made all of these different things that you can do. There are challenges that, I can't remember the name of the god in the game. It's like Magrin or Margan, something like that. But there are all of these challenges where you turn them on, it makes the game a little bit harder. And you have the options of which ones you want to turn on, which ones you want to turn off. And there is a challenge called the Ultimate. You have every single one of those turned on. And they are rough. One of those challenges is, the very moment the game starts, a young child runs up to you. And you have to keep the young child alive by your side during every combat. And to also win the challenge, you have to beat every single boss. One run, because if you die, challenge is over. And you got to keep that little girl alive. And the monsters like to challenge. The monsters like to go for the little girl before they go for you. So you've got a heck of a challenge just right there. And they add all these other challenges. Apparently, this is a thing that has been running since like 2019, at least, and only 14 people have managed to do this. And you can't just say you've done it. You have to record your run. You have to send the recording and your save game to Oblivion, the people who make the game. They will analyze it. And if it's for real, you get on the wall. And it's a real wall. And it's like apparently the first 12 or so people that did that got an actual physical reward for it. But this guy Mortem desperately wants to be able to do that. And it's going to try hard. So we're going to be hearing the story because he's planning on doing two simultaneous game run-throughs. One where it's, before he goes into an area, stop and save, which this is not the kind of thing he can send in. And then the other save file is going in and fighting until he figures out the optimal way to do it, going to the other save file and then doing it that way to get through it successfully. It's going to be interesting to see. But one of the reasons that I wanted to bring this up is I wish I could hyperfixate on things the way I could when I was younger. Oh my gosh. When I was younger, before I knew that I was hyperfixating, I could hyperfixate on things strongly, powerfully. I mean, even when my wife was alive, between the year 2000 and the year 2014 when she died, I could and did just say, okay, I want to, because this interests me and I suck at it, I'm going to spend an afternoon getting good at it. And then I could. I'd go from I suck to I'm getting through this just because in an afternoon I hyperfixated on doing that. And it's not just games where I've been able to hyperfixate. This happened in the mid-90s, but that's, while a long time ago, only a bit like 5 years before I met and married my wife. I wanted to try painting miniatures. And I painted my first little miniature. And it sucked. It was horrible. And I said to myself, I want to learn how to do this. I want to be able to paint these things. So I went out and I bought like a $35, one of those big 18-inch, no, I think this one was either 12 or probably 18 inches because it was hollow plastic, character pinhead from the Hellraiser movies. And then you had to put the pins into the actual head, but it was all blue plastic. You had to paint it. And so I used that to learn how to paint. And when I was done with it, and it was like a weekend, it looked, I did not know who made that, who painted that, because it wasn't me. I can't do that sort of thing. It looked frickin' incredible. So I used to be able to hyperfixate hard. Now it's hard to hyperfixate for any length of time. I've been playing the game Shining in the Darkness through an emulator, the Sega Genesis RPG. It's pretty simple, but it's fun. It's been a while since I've played it, and when the last time I did, I wasn't pushing forward into new ground. The longer it is between my playing something and my playing it, the longer it gets, the less I'm actually going to play it. I want to play and beat the game. Kingsfield 2, I've been pushing myself to play, and I think I need to start over again, which is irritating, but I'm not sure. You need 5 of these keys to get through this one series of doors to get a special sword. The one key that I've been looking for was supposed to be inside of a house. I can't remember picking it up there. So I've got 4 keys, and I'm not sure where to get the 5th one, so I'm thinking of just restarting so that I can make sure I get all of the keys. But I've been trying to push to play that. It's been a little bit difficult. There are all sorts of other games that I have been playing for little bits of time, but again, the more I play something, the less I play these other things, and the longer the time gets, the less likely I am to play it again. Which, just to talk about this one because I remembered it, I really like the game Fate from Wild Tangent that came out like, it could have even been 15, 20 years ago. But they still sell it, still works on, yay, emergency vehicles because I live on a main street. But it is a good game, a good series of games because there's 4 in the series. But even the first one, even though it's simple, it's a little bit more than that. Because even though you're just dungeon diving, semi-randomly roguelike for no special quests, even though there is an overarching quest, the way the dungeons worked, and still do, if you want to transcend, you can go deep diving because there are 2 billion levels in each dungeon. You can't get there via all of these normal things, but people used to go deep delving, where you would take your character that would get crushed. You went in fast, grab something, and then teleport out before you can get destroyed. 4 games in the series. I'm playing the Cursed King. In one of the first dungeons, I've got to go down to the 5th level and the 6th level to get stuff done. I went down to the 4th level and there's no stairs down. So that kind of kills that run. I've tried to look online to see if anyone else has a, hey, where are the stairs thing? And it's not just that I'm, oh, maybe you're in the wrong dungeon. No, all of these quests are dungeon name specific. These are the Caverns of Living Fire. All the other quests for other dungeons are in another list for that dungeon. So it came crashing to a halt, and that's very sad and irritating. On the other hand, they have Fate Remastered coming out. I believe it's supposed to have all of the games involved. I'm not sure. I'd like to get it. I still play the game and all of the others in the series. So thumbs up for that. There's more I want to talk about, but my throat's really sore. And I'm not sick, it's just stuff in the air. Yay! So I don't want to yammer too much or I'm going to end up coughing my head off? Is that the way it goes? I'd end up coughing my head off before too long. So, I'm going to start. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that'd be very cool. Sharing, of course, only with people that you think would enjoy watching an old man yammer on incomprehensibly, semi-incomprehensibly, about inane subjects. That would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up on that. And if you're a Patreon patron, oh my gosh, you are a beautiful and awesome person. And I mean truly. Physically, mentally, spiritually. I don't know what the heck I'm doing with my hands because that's not the way you count in any language I know of. I mean, other than informally. And spiritually. So, thumbs up. Thank you. Keep up the good work. And of course, each and every person that leaves a comment, you too are beautiful in your own way. I read every comment and enjoy every comment that's not abuse, but we're not going to get into that. Very, very few abusive comments. Thank goodness. I have a very, very nice comment section, and I appreciate that. But I read every one that YouTube shows me. I thumbs up and heart each one that YouTube allows. And I answer as many as my nerve compression will let me, which hopefully with the physical therapy I've got going on, maybe it'll get better and I'll be able to type more. That would be very, very cool. So definitely thumbs up on that. And of course, oh, do I never think. And that's the problem, I never think. Head empty, no thoughts. If you could type suave into the YouTube comments section to let the YouTube algorithm and myself know that people actually watch these videos, at least this far, that'd be very cool. And I know that there are people that do so, and I appreciate your accommodating me and my silly little statements for my blatant engagement farming. It is appreciated. You are as well beautiful and awesome. In fact, everybody that watches these, or even just puts on in the background and listens to them, you're all beautiful and awesome. Yay, a very good thing. So I'm just going to edit, render, upload, take the rest of the day to take care of myself, go out for walkies later on, but past that, no great ideas or plans. Simple, sheer existence. That's a good thing. After all, there's the cosmic horror Tommy Canoso, who acts and presents as like a giant wolf-like creature leading a pack. But to be a member of the pack, you have to accept the precepts, which of course is, there's no future, there's no past, there's only right now. No thoughts, no planning, just being. And that's what you do. You live in the moment until you stop living. So, cool. Anyway, yeah, so great words of wisdom, huh? Take care.